Yo, 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 you already know who it is. Bruh Migos podcast back. Weekly episode, Price, Rob, and you already know how we coming to you guys. But before we get too deep into what we're about to get into, we gotta remind you guys, W, one of our
Yeah.
paid sponsors. Remember, if you're thirsty, you need hydration, you need energy, W.GG, get you a W. They sell it already mixed. They sell a powder. You can hydrate yourself. It's how I get going for these episodes every Sunday morning to come here and deliver that to y'all. So remember, W.GG code Bramigos Pod. Save yourself 10% off some W. Trust me, it's some delicious stuff, and you'll need it. Now,
Get
back to
yourself
the
a
show.
W.
Rob, this week, the show, we gotta talk some stuff. We got WWE. We got WNBA. And of course, we gotta talk MLB with the sprinkle of just a little sprinkle of cinnamon college football at the end of the show to
Sprinkle,
show
baby.
something that we saw yesterday in college football. Probably one of the best catches of the year. And we got all that right now coming to you. Ramigos Podcast. Go ahead and hit that music for him. Rob,
What up, though?
let's get it, bro. We gotta kick this off for you guys, WWE fans. If you are not watching it, if you do not have Netflix, you better how to watch this. The Vince McMahon documentary is going on right now. And me and Rob have been watching. Oh, we've been watching. And we gotta talk to y'all. And matter of fact, Rob, take over. I'm gonna let you start it off for this one.
All right. So, as y'all may know, as Nate just said, Netflix has the documentary, 6-part documentary about Vince McMahon, and his life called Mr. McMahon. So, I would say this. I've seen it. I've ran through it. What I would say, my first thing, because I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like sports docs and they don't like how sports docs actually go, and they don't dive enough. So what I would say is, if you've never heard of anything with Vince McMahon, if you've never seen anything with WWE as far as like all the other things, all the other products they've come out with, it's a good documentary because it actually details a lot of information about the Monday Night Wars, about the different things that he had gone through, different stages within WWE from the time that he was a child, really, to the time that he essentially got taken out as the CEO or of TKO essentially. Uh, what I didn't so but people claim like, oh man, they don't tell you anything that you don't know. That's because a lot of us read a lot and watch a lot and know a lot of information about this. And yes, it didn't give a lot of new light into those different things. So like for me, something I learned at least, I didn't realize that Wendy Richter was a victim of the screw job. So I never knew that. Like the essentially like the Montreal screw job, that was early precursor to Wendy Richter. Early That was a later precursor to Wendy Richter. What happened to her? And Bret Hart did say like, oh, I remember the Montreal screw job, or I remember the Wendy Richter screw job. So that was in my mind. Which okay, sure. But like I didn't know about Vince McMahon and how he was a victim of molestation as a child and of sexual abuse. So, so like that kind of, opened my eyes to some things that I never knew about him, and it kind of, not to psychoanalyze him, but like from what others people say about victims of sexual abuse, uh, and essentially like what happens with them and how they basically react to others in the future, it made more sense. I would say not to say what his actions were right, wrong, or indifferent, but it made more sense of what happened with him. But like overall, for if you do know like things about Vince McMahon and about WWE altogether. It was really more like a retrospective. I think they basically went into certain things a little bit more than they needed to. So like they talked about the streak ending, which I didn't think was necessary at all.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't have a lot to do with Vince McMahon. It was, I mean, it was his decision to do it, but it really wasn't, it didn't really matter as much comparatively to like other stuff that happened to him. So that I think they probably put it in there for a little filler. But no, I mean overall, I liked it. Like I said, they didn't really want to dive. It didn't seem like Vince McMahon was giving them enough to dive into. Because he said it like basically at the front of it, which was um I essentially don't like to talk about myself. I don't like to
Yep.
really, I don't like to sell. I like to no sell, things about myself and emotions that other people said, those kinds of things. So he really wasn't trying to basically make more about him. It was really more he was trying to, tell a story, not tell his story. But one of the things I will say, and I'm gonna pass it over to Nate because I know he's got a bunch of great things. But like one thing I will say, I feel like a conspiracy theory got confirmed in one of the stories that Vince McMahon, I think it was either Vince McMahon or Shane McMahon that said it and told the story. But and it was about Shane's departure. And I want y'all to basically let me know what y'all think that led to. And I want y'all to basically, because I really want y'all to get to it, and I really want us to talk about this. So if y'all find this, hit us up, Bramigos Pod. Whether you do it in YouTube or you do it in Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Let me know if y'all thinking what I'm thinking. Because I was like, this is interesting. Hmm, this is probably what this means. So I think yeah. But overall, like I said, it was cool. I'm good with it. Um, in my mind, they covered basically everything, to include his previous sexual abuse or sexual assault allegations and lawsuits and different matters of that. It's even covered Owen Hart, which I didn't think they was gonna do.
Yeah.
Uh, and did that. But no, Nate, go ahead, man. Let me know what you think.
So this being a retrospective of what Vince McMahon was, I enjoyed seeing it. I wanted them to try to pull as much out of Vince because we learned more about Vince, but Vince is a very smart individual. Okay.
Hmm.
First of all, I want you guys to like take into how time works, okay? And I want you guys to think about this. Vince took something that he bought from his dad,
Hmm.
okay? And he waged it all. Like if you guys know the story about how WWE blew up, it was because of WrestleMania. And I want you guys to kind of fathom this. It's basically him mortgaging because the kids even said we didn't know about like mortgaging and that he was mortgaging this to get money for that and this, that, and the third. But it wound up working. Vince basically went to the casino for WrestleMania and said, I'm betting it all on black.
Hmm.
And it hit. And it's been hitting ever since then. It was like in 85. And I think that he's gotten credit, but I think that if you're a true wrestling fan and you sit there and you think about this guy took a business from his dad. And to me, whenever I kind of watched it, and he kind of let you know that his dad wasn't that emotional type of guy, and that in a way he kind of didn't want to see Junior go bigger than him, but he
Hmm.
did it and he overcame that. And whenever I saw Vince break that down, and then him even telling a story about how right before his dad died, he told him that he loved him. He was like, I love you. Like, I love you, son. And it was like, I think that was one of those moments where Vince's dad knew his time was up here and he needed to right what was right between him and Vince. But it killed me knowing like he's a victim of molestation, and I was like, damn, Vince is like, it's like the shit that you then kind of went through. It shows you that sometimes this can have an effect upon a person's psyche, or they might do some shit that's out of line. it's just kind of how we look at R. Kelly. I'm not going to justify it and give him a reason, but it happens. It affects people. But Vince is a very, very, very smart human being. And like Rob said, there is a conspiracy theory. We want you guys to watch it. I'm going to try to make a poll here on YouTube and ask you guys, have you gotten to it? And what do you think it could mean if it is what this is? But we are going to try to discuss that maybe next week, give you guys a little bit of time to watch it, and we'll bring it back up and we'll talk about that. But go watch this. You're a wrestling fan. Go watch this. Go watch this documentary. Take the time, 6 episodes. Get on your Netflix. They're about 45 minutes to an hour a piece.
Yeah, but roughly. Roughly.
Take them. Look, you ain't got to do it in a day because I was over here covering ground. Goddamn it!
Yeah.
I wanted to know.
I was like, let me do what I can. Like I was working hard trying to get through these episodes.
Yeah, look, you have to. We want you to watch this because for a lot of people, it's going to give you guys a way better insight on Vince. It's going to kind of let you know what he's been through. And to me, Vince is the man of wrestling. And I don't know. I'm going to say this. I think because of where he came from is the reason that WWE is so big. And I'm going to say this before we get out the door. It's people who take something and they grow it and they nurture it. And then you have people with money who come into stuff and they try to make it work, but they don't have exactly the fire to nurture it how it needs to be nurtured. And that's not, I know some people may read between the lines. Is he taking a shot at Tony Khan? No, I'm not taking a shot at him. But they came into the industry with money. Tony Khan and them didn't need to be in wrestling, or this isn't their family tradition. They made their money elsewhere. But I feel like if you put more people who this is their birth and this is what they know, and you let them put into this, the product becomes better. And we saw that with WWE. We saw the Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Ted DiBiase's and the Bam Bam Bigelows and the Sheiks and how he played it. And he even talks about how they played like they knew how to pick up on America's weak points. They had a little black kid in the documentary who they asked him, who's the bad guy? And he was like, the Sheiks, because they don't like us. And it showed you that the stereotyping helped him build something. Even though the Sheik wasn't that dude. Sheik wasn't no bad dude. But Vince knew how to play and write the story. And they knew how to make this happen. And they worked it. They really did.
Yeah, so what I would say when it comes to Tony Khan, like I think it's not necessarily that he didn't grow into it, because I think he has a love for it. He has the same love that Vince has. I think the thing with Tony Khan is that because like the thing with Vince in the documentary and just purely from his business kind of early on, he only thought big. Like Tony Khan is really more one of the territory guys, like in thought pattern. I want to make this one thing to how much I like it. And I want to only think about this for the hand select few people that is going to like it. But Vince is like, I want to basically make this thing that everybody likes it. And I mean, I know like Darby Allin has basically been like, WWE is Taylor Swift. Yeah, you're fucking right, it's Taylor Swift. Everybody likes it. And there's going to be some people that don't really like it as much. And granted, I'm not a pop music guy myself, but even though they got this background, I don't know this background that they made. This ain't mine, but like I am not like, yes, it's for everybody. WWE is for everybody and tries what it can to be for everybody, but because that's what makes money and it's a wrestling business. He only thought business, business, business. He had a love for wrestling, but it's business, business, business. Tony Khan thinks too small. And he only thinks too small, and that's That's his issue. He doesn't have the business acumen to take his business further. And that's why, even though I'll say AEW is very important and should be around, he is not somebody that is good enough to basically branch that out. He needs somebody else. And that's the problem with him. He surrounds himself with people that only think about the small and don't really think about the big. And he doesn't think about the big enough to basically make that small bigger. And so
Yeah.
that's his problem. But nah, like and we was talking about it before the show. The thing with Vince, when he did make his stuff bigger, the thing with him was uh everybody thought that he was the only dude. And so when he drove everybody out of town and basically drove damn near everybody out of business, he became the business. And
Yep.
everybody basically from the US government to all these different things came to him and be like, you are wrestling. And he's like, hey, these people that worked here before WWE, they were doing that shit too, like with steroids. They were doing that shit in Mid-South and all these other territories. It wasn't just here. They weren't just they didn't just come here and just coke up here. They
Yep.
basically were doing it down in New Orleans, doing it down in Texas, doing it down in Mississippi, and doing all these kind of things there, and then came up here to make some more money. So I mean, yeah, he he became the face of wrestling, and I don't think everybody was ready for that either. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's a good doc, and I would say it's worth watching.
Yeah. Definitely, everybody, go watch that doc of Vince McMahon. Go watch that on Netflix. We're telling you, look, you're hearing it from two of the horse's mouths. We've been waiting to talk about this.
Yeah.
Been waiting to talk about this. Me and Rob been neighing back and forth in the goddamn barn. Like, we can't wait to tell these people about this shit right here. But
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely worth your while. Go ahead, watch it. True wrestling fans or people who just interested in wrestling to get a better idea of what's going on, go watch McMahon. This is something that you need to watch. Trust me. Now, speaking from stories of scandal to most scandalous business, WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to talk to y'all about something. Rob gonna talk about it too. So, do y'all know how scandalous you are, WNBA, for waiting till the fever lost to go at these trolls?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all wasn't trying to defend nobody. Nobody. Wasn't happening. If defense was coming in, it was from outside sources. Y'all needed the NATO to come in, outside people. Just you needed,
A
to help.
coalition of
Yeah, y'all
forces.
needed the coalition of forces to come defend some of these women until all of a sudden the Indiana Fever get knocked out of the playoffs. And you know what? I ain't gonna talk about y'all no more. Rob, go ahead, bro. Go
So
ahead.
so after the day after the Indiana Fever basically were eliminated from the playoffs, the executive director and like a lot of others within the WNBA put out tons of tweets and statements about we will not tolerate hateful speech and discrimination and prejudice against our 144 athletes. Blasey, blasey, blah. And the reason why I say blasey, blasey, blah is because this shit's been going on for months. This shit's been going on for months. You had Dejanay Carrington, you had Derica Hamby, you had Angel Reese. You had so many countless women basically talking about how they're getting harassed. Kennedy Carter is another one. Like that's getting absolutely harassed on the internet by trolls. And people were like, these Indiana Fever fans, they are wrong. They are not wrong. You want to know why? Because these aren't Indiana Fever fans. These aren't Caitlin Clark fans. These aren't people that are trying to spread the gospel of Caitlin Clark. These are motherfuckers that are basically trying to basically accentuate their role and their wanting to tell black women that they're wrong for whatever hateful reason that they have. This is what they wanted to do. And that's the problem with this. It's always pointed as this is this group of people that are under this cloak. Like, no, these are people that are trolls and mercenaries, essentially, They are just people that are
Basically.
just there to harass. That's it. They're state actors, if you will. Like they don't try to basically make sure that you know how great Caitlin Clark is. They just want you to know that, hey, black woman, black WNBA player, you are not as good as her. You are just some wrong. And granted, I know that there are people that whenever something happens with Caitlin Clark, there's people that are on the internet that want to basically tell her how she ain't as compared to these other black women and everything like that. And so it goes both ways. But with the WNBA and trying to basically quell this shit, they did it right after the Indiana Fever. Their cash cow was gone. And that shit was wrong. They should have stamped this out early on when people were telling them over and over, hey, this shit is wrong. They waited
Yeah.
just so happened to be right after Caitlin Clark is out of the playoffs. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Kathy Engelbert, you gotta go. And granted, I will say, I am not somebody that watches WNBA that often. I watch it, I've had League Pass, everything like that. I Basketball is not a sport that I really care too much about. Comparatively to the other sports that I like.
Yeah.
Baseball and football, really. But like as far as what I've seen with this commissioner, she doesn't have or doesn't seemingly have the best mission, thought pattern, and will to basically lead this league to where it needs to be. It needs somebody with a stronger voice and somebody that's going to really champion these women and champion it and champion these causes and get better money for these women. What's going on right now ain't helping. It needs to be better. So
Yes.
whether she's gone or she basically does a massive overhaul, it's got to get better because y'all basically not helping the biases or the perceived biases that are already out there when you do shit like that. It only hurts.
It really does. And we want y'all to do better. We want this league to thrive and get better and get bigger and help these women provide for themselves to where they don't have to go overseas.
Yep.
Okay. And whenever you do stuff like this, it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. If you're going to defend your people, you need to defend them 24/7, 365. Get off your ass and make it happen, okay? And it's that simple. Point blank, period. If you're not willing to try, but you're willing to try after Caitlin Clark is eliminated, something's wrong with you.
Yep.
Okay. Something is wrong with you. So WNBA, we definitely need you to get that together. I don't know I don't know if anybody else picked up on it outside of me and Rob, but we noticed this immediately. How all of a sudden the switch went on. So hey, something has to be done about that. You can't play the game like that. You just can't. It's not fair. It's just not. Now, this weekend, you all know me and Rob love football. But before, because I want y'all to enjoy y'all Sunday football. But the final weekend of MLB games is today.
Come with it.
It's today. And I stand up on the mountain of MLB right now and tell you to tune in to these playoff races.
Tune in.
Because goddamn it, if you ain't watching MLB this weekend, something's wrong with your ass.
Don't be missing the fuck out.
Something is wrong with you. Because it's down to the wire.
Down to
it. It is down to the goddamn wire.
We this close.
This close. This close. But before I preacheth upon hitting of the RBI and giving of runs, I gotta address something. I gotta address something in the category of wins and losses. Before I talk about the righteousness of the playoffs this weekend that's coming up. White Sox. What the hell is wrong with y'all? The worst team ever, 121 plus losses. God damn, what's
Super
wrong
booty.
with you?
Super booty.
You guys just went down in MLB history for every goddamn wrong reason.
Oh, help me somebody. Help me somebody.
Every wrong reason.
Oh my
goodness. What
goodness.
are people gonna do with y'all?
Oh, so ass.
Do you know what I did whenever I saw 121 losses?
What'd you do, bro?
I said, if you a White Sox fan, go outside and throw that jersey in the damn trash, bro.
Oh, throw it away.
Just throw that away right now.
Send it to the dump.
To the dump, because you best believe that you do not want to be in history and on that team right now whenever they write that down, because they're going to say who was the worst team in MLB history, and they're going to say the White Sox. 2024, they're going to say 2023. Well, no, it's going to be the 2024 White Sox, and they're going to say, you know them?
Oh,
and they're going to be like, shit, yeah, we know this person was on that and that person was on that. And you're going to be associated with being one of the worst losers ever
in
MLB history.
I got the list. I got rosters. Naming names.
Read them off, Rob.
We got Garrett Crochet on this team. We got Gavin Sheets on this team. I didn't actually have him. Luis Robert is on this team. We have, hold on, let me get it. Andrew Benintendi on this team. Andrew Vaughn on this team. Miguel Vargas, he kind of don't count because he got traded at the deadline.
Yohan Moncada, I see yours.
Yohan Moncada is on this team. Michael Soroka, my Soroka, is on this team. There are so many players that are of but on this team are now going to be remembered in history as hitting personified.
Now, with us getting that clear and purge of the great MLB playoffs, Rob, today is going to be the day. Shohei Ohtani is still making his bid. Triple Crown right now. Mr. 50-50 Club right now. Okay? Now, we all know the Yankees were going to rest some people because they already got their first round locked up. You know? Cleveland, same thing. First round locked up. LA, first round locked up. Who else we got first round? Phillies, first round locked up, all home field. So, with that being said, before we get too deep into our topics, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and share this for y'all. Cause why not? We gotta go ahead and take a look at a few things right now. So first thing we're gonna look at is right here. And we're gonna throw it up on the screen. Bam!
Oh, look at that sexy image right there. Y'all know what that is?
This is our boy Rob's playoff bracket. Okay. Right here, right now. This is Rob. Rob, go ahead and explain your playoff bracket.
Feast your eyes on my creation, my people. So I wanted to do a bracket. We both wanted to do a bracket just to basically show y'all who is in the MLB playoffs. Now, granted, this is as of Saturday night. So this was as of what's Saturday night? September 28th. So this is the playoffs as is. Now, granted, there shouldn't be much change in this because essentially, I think the only change will be is if the Diamondbacks are make it to playoff, if they make the playoffs, versus I want to say it's the Mets. So essentially, what has to be said here is like if you look at what's here and look at basically all the teams that are here, and you see that I do not believe in a certain team. And it's kind of confounding what team that is, isn't it? Because we talk a lot about a Shohei Ohtani. We talk a lot about my favorite player in the league, Mookie Betts. We talk about a lot about Freddie Freeman. 3 MVPs, 3 former MVPs up here. What do we talk about with it? We talk about their greatness. What do you see here? I don't see their greatness, or I don't see their greatness going long. And you know what? I'm gonna go and just say the Dodgers. I don't see y'all making it past the first round. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that with confidence. And you wanna know why? It's because y'all have a habit of not following through. Y'all have a habit of basically saying, you know what? We got all this talent here. We ain't gonna carry it through. And I saw like the opening day or the first round rotation y'all got. Jack Flaherty, who's pitched well. Yobashu Yamamoto. Yobashibu Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Yep. I know I still said his name wrong. And then two other guys I can't remember. That's what y'all going through. Y'all don't have Tyler Glass now. Y'all don't have Clayton Kershaw. Y'all not gonna have Clayton Kershaw. Y'all not gonna really have. I think y'all had Walker Bueller. I think it's the third starter. But like y'all not gonna have Tony Gosselin. Y'all not gonna have a lot of these cats that were supposed to be the guys that are gonna be leading y'all rotation. While San Diego is gonna be coming back with Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish, Michael King, so many guys that basically they can at least throw out at y'all and basically really get at y'all. I'm just saying that this team is going to beat y'all in the playoffs. So I see them making it past the Braves, who actually had a good season, all things considered, and basically making
Yeah.
it past y'all to get to the NLDS and then making it to the NLCS. So I'm going to also talk about the Mets. I see the Mets going on to the second round playing against the Phillies. This is going to be, I think, a good series because the Mets have been making their way and taking what they had, the issues that they had, like up and down season. I think they're going to basically end up beating the Brewers, who I just never really like and never really believe in anyway. They got a chance, but I don't see it as a big chance. I think the Mets are hotter. I think the Mets have a good amount more talent, and can basically make it past them. But they're gonna play against Philly, which Philly is a fucking buzzsaw. An absolute buzzsaw right now. And yeah, they ain't gonna make it past them. That's just not happening. Mets, I think it's gonna be a nice series, but I don't see it going more than like say 5 or 6. Uh, so that leads us to the NLCS. Philly versus San Diego. I got San Diego. Their talent, I think, is going to outweigh where you got Jackson Merrill, you got Fernando Tatis Jr., you got Luis Ariz, who, if basically Shohei Ohtani doesn't finish it out, basically is going to win the batting title. Like, I think that team is primed for a World Series win or it's a World Series berth, the first one in a very, very, very long time. I think since Tony Gwynn days. Then let's go to the AL side. Well, first of all, how you like it? How you like it my NL side right quick.
I have some things that I have changed,
Okay.
but I'll discuss it once I get mine up. I'm gonna explain myself, and you can go ahead and proceed with your AL, with
All
your
right.
ALCS. Let's see.
All right. So let me talk about my AL. So as you see, I have KC upsetting Houston. So I got 2 6 seeds basically upsetting the number one the higher seed. So I do have them with Bobby Witt Jr. Granted, would have been the MVP if basically Aaron Judge didn't exist. Like I have them going on another run with Seth Lugo and all of them, basically beating Houston. Even though I do like Houston, love Lord Jordan Alvarez, I see Kansas City basically making it past them. I also see Baltimore beating Detroit. Detroit, who I still don't know how the fuck they made the playoffs. I'm looking at them and I'm just like, dog, what the fuck? Like they barely have any hitting. They got excellent pitching, but they have just no hitting. They basically made 10 games above 500, fifth seed. Props to y'all Tigers, but an early exit as well. Um, but yeah, I got them. I got Baltimore beating them. And one of the things that like I was looking at this like before this started. This is a very 90s ass fucking like playout like ALDS. You got fucking Baltimore versus the Yankees, which
Yep.
that shit felt like it was perennial every year in the late 90s, like when you had the Albert Bell days and all them shits. Like this is like that Yankees Baltimore like felt nostalgic. And I was wanting to think that basically, with that nostalgia, things are gonna kind of stay the same, like Yogi Berra deja vu all over again. But I ain't thinking that shit right now. Baltimore goes on to the ALCS. They beat the Yankees, who is another team that basically cannot fucking play to their talent level and somehow loses. I think that with like the Yankees and the Dodgers, they had two guys that basically played at exceptional rates, but those exceptional rates are going to basically wound out and essentially go away. So I have them both losing out in the first round. Also with KC and the Guardians, that's an AL Central matchup. I got the Royals winning that. I got a Cinderella team in the Royals basically making it all the way to the ALCS. I think that they basically have the talent level with with their guys. I think they can basically make it past. So now that sets up for the ALCS. Got Baltimore versus the Royals. Baltimore, too much fucking firepower. It's great starting rotation. Great hitters when you talk about Gunnar Henderson. When you talk about Colton Cowser. When you talk about like all the cast that they have within their fucking team, I think that they make it past, especially Corbin Burns as well, leading the rotation. Yeah, I think they do it. And so that leads us to the World Series. The 2024 World Series brought to you by Capital One. I see San Diego winning it all, taking it in 6 games against the Baltimore Orioles. That's my playoff bracket, my people. Feast your eyes on it and let me know what you think.
Okay. Now, as much as I like his playoff bracket, I like mine way more. So as we flip screens, okay, I will show you, even though I didn't put my winner, which
Mhm.
I will explain who my winner will be at the end.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to start over in the AL. Okay. Kansas City and Houston.
Mhm.
Rob has y'all as Cinderella. I have y'all as Houston putting y'all in 5 games.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
I feel like Houston is going to be on somewhat of a war path until the second round. Okay. Detroit and Baltimore, like Rob said, I have no fucking clue how he got in there, Detroit. I'm still trying to
Just make sense of
figure
it.
this out. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to make sense of it. I have Baltimore beating you guys, going on to face the Yankees. Now, up top, Houston and Cleveland. I think that this is going to be the one time the people of Cleveland are going to stand up for Drew Carey and all of his love of Cleveland, and they are going to beat Houston, okay, to get here, okay? Now, as Cleveland advances on the bottom, like Rob said, Baltimore and New York, I
Mm.
just don't think the Yankees are going to play up to it. I think that murderer's row of
Mhm.
hitters is not going to. I think they're going to have flashes, but they're not going to be the murderer's row of hitters that they are during the regular season. I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna fail. Okay, and that leaves Cleveland and Baltimore. Okay, now as Baltimore should have had such a great run, I see Cleveland
Mm.
advancing past Baltimore, okay? Let me explain
Go, go, go.
I know.
My brother, go ahead.
So look, Baltimore, great young team, ton of young talent, okay? I think this is where you guys might shit the bed, okay?
Mm.
I don't see this being a matchup of a lot of runs being scored, but I think Cleveland is going to do enough to advance to the World Series. Okay? All right? That's why I have that on my L side. Okay? NL side. I'm gonna start up top. Brewers. The Mets are hot. But in true New York fashion, I think the subway ain't gonna be on time. Okay? And I think that the Brew Crew gets it done against the Mets. Okay? Down low, Atlanta, San Diego, Atlanta. You know, all of the years of Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones and John Smoltz and Greg Maddux. and just all of the talented Atlanta teams, even up to now, Calvin Harris, Riley, freaking as much talent as that team has, Atlanta, I don't see you beating San Diego. Okay, I just don't. You're down. Okay, even Marcell Ozuna is having a hell of a year back. I just don't see you beating San Diego. Okay, now I go back up top. Brewers, Phillies. Phillies are just playing on another world right now. They're playing on another world right now, bro. And I see them beating the Brewers, advancing. San Diego, LA. Now, where Rob has little faith in you, I have faith in you.
Mm.
I have LA beating San Diego and putting a stop to them. Yes, they are down Tyler Glass now. Yes, the pitching may not be the best. But when you're down and you need that energy, and you look to the side and you see Mookie Betts and you see Shohei Ohtani, I have faith. I have faith that you will get this done. Okay? Triple crown Shohei. Triple crown.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to stop San Diego in their tracks. It's gonna be 6-7 games. Okay? I'm not saying it's gonna be a walk. I'm not saying it's gonna be a walk. But I'm saying 6-7 games, they're gonna put the stops in them. Okay? Now, Phillies, LA. Okay? I'm betting on Shohei in LA to get this done. I have the number 1 seed, Los Angeles Dodgers, coming out to play the Cleveland Guardians in the World Series. Okay? And to cap off the most majestical year that you've ever seen, where there's Bobby Witt Jr. and there's Aaron Judge batting out of his mind. Only one like Highlander, except his name is Shohei. Shohei. And he helps lead the LA Dodgers to a World Series, and he gets a ring to go along with all of the millions and millions of dollars that they paid him. And they walk away World Series champs, Rob. That's how I'm predicting this. Okay?
Okay. All right. I
Your
like
mic
it.
might not be on.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I like it. You know, I basically
Nah, because you're not having any volume right now, bro.
really. Hold on. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. The
Okay.
world can hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. You know, it's I because the thing is I can see this, and this is actually a good one. You know, because when you talk about with Cleveland, I do think that they do have a chance, because like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
they don't have a lot of spectacular talent. You know, they got Jose Ramirez and, you know, cast of characters, but I think that, yeah, they can push through. And yeah, I mean, LA, if Shohei has a good series, if Mookie Betts has a good series, if Freddie Freeman has a good series, and they carry each other, I think that they can basically make their
Yeah.
way into the World Series, because they have the firepower. It's just that, can they put that firepower together? That's been my question.
I think that they can put this together, Rob, and that they can make the push. And I'm calling it because, and I'm gonna tell you guys at home, the reason I'm calling it with LA to win is because of this. You never see this many comments flying at one time in the MLB. And what I mean by that is this. Shohei Ohtani hit the 50-50 club, plus he's in the run for the Triple Crown today. Aaron Judge has had a monster year this year.
Also, for the Triple Crown.
Also, Bobby Witt has had a monster year this year. It has been a host of people showing out this year. Um, dang it, and I just talked about it. Mondesi, I want to say, was it?
Marcell Ozuna.
No, Marcelo Ozuna did have a banging ass year this year. To say that, like, the Braves aren't even healthy. Austin Riley is there, but they're not completely healthy. And Calvin Harris isn't playing.
Michael Harris.
Michael Harris isn't playing completely up. Their team isn't there, but it's shit flying for this team right now. The MLB has had so much go on this year where it's like, the best way to explain it in my head is this. You're looking at, I'm not going to say Haley's Comet because that's one comment. It's like going outside and saying it's meteors everywhere. Lindor's having a great season. It's people everywhere having great seasons across different teams in different divisions. Any of y'all could tell me that y'all had Detroit making the playoffs.
Not one.
You are lying your ass off right now, okay? You are like killing yourself, okay? It was teams that were in the running. We're having this discussion and we're recording this before everything is done. But it's still a possible shift because Arizona was right there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see this. Usually the lines are clear cut. By this time of the year, matter of fact, I'm going to say this. Usually by the middle of last week, we already know who's going to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's damn them. This one. And we already know in the playoffs. Your team didn't make it. You're already crying. You've been crying since last week. You done dried your tears. Your cup of tears is out and everything else. And you're cool about it. You're just ready to watch You're just ready to watch Major League Baseball playoffs. But it's people down to the last moment of who could really be in here. And Atlanta, not a totally healthy team right now, made the playoffs. People don't realize Atlanta won like 100 games last year.
Great.
They won 88 this year, second in the NL East. They're there. They don't even have a healthy lineup. But they're still there. Matt Olson is still there. Ozzy Albies is still there. They have pieces, but they're not totally there. You can't tell me that right now, that they wouldn't like love their huge just Ronald Acuna Jr. back. They don't have I don't think Strider is back.
No, Strider, he's out for the season.
Strider is gone. They don't have Kerr, one of their relief pitchers. Atlanta's beat the hell up.
Yeah.
Still got 88 wins. If they're healthy, they got another 100 win year. Easy. But it's still so competitive right now. And if you pay attention to what's going on right now in MLB, trust me, you'll be like, man, this has been a tight year. Like, be it all. And as much as we joke upon it, your two worst disappointments this year, the White Sox and the Athletics in my like personal opinion, okay? Because they're uprooting from Oakland. They're gonna play 3 years, I think they said, in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna play 3 years in Sacramento before they go to Vegas, okay? To me, they have great young talent right now. Lawrence Butler. They got Shea Langoliers right now. They have great young talent. And now, to me, City of Oakland, this is whenever I would be upset. Because didn't they put 20 runs on the Yankees?
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Yankees they put them 20 on?
Mm-hmm.
They put a 20 piece on you. You saw peak Athletics, what you got right there. I'd be upset about that because they're moving my franchise away from me. And I just really got good. Like, I have the pieces to start being really good right here.
Yep.
And now, in 3 years, they're going to be in Vegas. Vegas gets to live up off of that. You think Lawrence Butler and Shea Langoliers are going to get worse in 3 years? Usually not. People go on the uptick.
Yeah.
They're going to get better. And Vegas to have their team now. Now, granted, the owner's looking like money because now he's in Vegas.
He don't know the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, like I
Now
wouldn't
you're,
have. I wouldn't have went to Vegas.
yeah.
I just wouldn't have did it. It is. I understand like the Raiders are out there right now and all of the attractions in Vegas. It's just so much other shit in Vegas. Are people going to go see baseball games in Vegas? You know, this isn't
Yeah.
like football where there's 17 games, well, 18 games out the season. There's 100 and some games, and half of them are at home.
Mm,
And there's other shit that goes on in Vegas. Hell, Usher could be on a goddamn thing. He could be servicing Vegas at a hotel the next 6 months. They
yep.
have magic shows. They got so much
They
other
got,
shit.
yeah. Baseball is not enough to basically overcome like what they're talking about as far as making money. Like if you're
Yeah,
talking about, all right, they gonna basically now go here and this is where they kind of jump off. It's like, no, because what fucking point do they have to jump off? Because like there's nothing like there's so like now there's sports saturated in Vegas versus like say 10 years ago where you had I think the Aces had just got there or something like that and like they
yeah.
were talking about the Vegas Knights but like there was nothing like there was no there you had UNLV, that's the only sport that was there, and granted that was because people were so afraid of gambling and like what that could entail, but yeah, like they don't have a stadium in Vegas. They don't have really much infrastructure in Vegas. All their infrastructure is in Oakland. All their history is in
Is
Oakland.
in Oakland.
Everything that all the passion is in Oakland. There is nothing in Vegas for them. He has done nothing to say that basically this team should basically be there. He shouldn't be the owner. John Fisher, you should not be the owner of the Oakland A's. There's no way you should be. I, and I don't mean to basically, make this on a sidetrack because it's just like it pissed me the fuck off that basically what he's doing. Like it's I feel because I've said it before. There's only 32 teams. Yes, they're talking about expansion, but there's only so much you can expand to. And there's other places that do want to have MLB baseball right where they could, essentially get it. Vegas ain't it, and Oakland ain't the team to basically move from there. Okay, because like you
Yeah.
got basically like there's been talks about the Sixers moving out of Philly. Like these are fucking franchises, even though ironically the Athletics came from Philly. So either
Mm-hmm.
way, but it's to the point of like you can't move some of these motherfuckers are landmarks. You can't move them, and it's stupid to move them. It's just fucking dumb.
And I don't think that they get it, but hey, he's the owner who
Yeah,
and you're making to me you're making a huge mistake because I feel like that stadium I feel like the difference is this. You've never renovated or improved your stadium compared to the Giants who are right across the way. That's
right.
why people go to the Giants. Look at the Giants stadium. The Giants stadium is more convenient and it makes
Yep,
people want to come. They have TVs behind
it's
certain parts.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful place. You have to make the environment welcoming for the customer. But yet you're looking for the money, but you're not putting back into that stadium is like old as molasses. You're not updating it. But you want a new one instead of work on the house where you're at. If you
Like
turn that house up, you're good. You're
look
good.
at look at what the Saints just did with the Superdome. Like, have you seen the pictures of the Superdome and like what basically all is that bitch looks
Exactly.
excellent. He could do that with the Oakland Coliseum. He just don't want to because he want to be a cheap fuck that's gonna go somewhere else that thinks that they didn't see him being a cheap fuck and they're gonna basically go and be excited about this team. They have no reason to be. They have so many other sports that they can look at. Vegas is not a baseball rich place.
No, it's not.
It might have people that came from there like Bryce Harper, but it ain't like some place, but that's only because it's hot. Like it's not a place that's baseball rich. So you left a place, you're taking a landmark that's baseball rich away from people to basically go there instead of just expanding and putting in another team, baseball. Y'all basically are complicit about this shit too. Y'all bullshit at this. And y'all aided and abetted this motherfucker that was making the wrong moves every single point. And at no time did y'all interject yourself and say, hey brother, maybe you shouldn't. And y'all didn't do that. And y'all basically fucking over fans. Y'all basically putting some shit that don't need to be there. It's basically an invasive species to this motherfucking land. Like, you guys are complicit to that shit too. That's bullshit. And y'all know y'all bullshit for that. Y'all know it. Y'all got to know it. This is fucked up and you know it.
Exactly. And they know it, Rob. They know it. But hey, he's gonna understand. He's maybe he'll learn. Maybe he'll learn in the end. Now,
let's get some happy.
Yep, we're about to get some happy. We're about to get some major happy. Now, no, if you guys were watching college football last night, and being me and Rob, we love a lot of sports. We love a lot of sports.
Give me more.
I think, Rob, right now, we're gonna call this catch and maneuver of the year right now.
Oh my God. Yes.
In college football. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know, Georgia, Alabama, great game last night. Great game. Great goddamn game. But it came down to the game-winning catch. And in this game-winning catch, we gotta we gotta show this. We gotta show this.
Oh, go show it.
Pulling this up.
Yes.
Okay, if you guys don't see, you should see it up on the screen like we're looking at it. It's 1st and 10. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left. Okay. Alabama has the ball. Okay. And this happens.
Familiar at the start of this game.
Drop back, bam, bam.
Right
2 on the throw.
There you go. Come back in. Okay, back. What are you gonna do?
Williams still spinning free.
Oh, look at those chants. That's a child. That is a child. 17-year-old. 17.
Now, for all you guys 17. That 17-year-old Ryan Williams, 75-yard receiving touchdown. Now, I don't know if you caught it, but look, I'm gonna let it play one more time.
Watch it.
Just spin on it.
Watch this. Fucking jump, spin, cut, out like motherfucker.
Touchdown Alabama, they answer in one play.
It was play. Dog, when I tell you, Curb Street kept saying, you know what, they just need to play conservative. Just get a first down. They got plenty of time, because they were only down 1. So just get in field goal range. That bitch, Bill Rowe said, motherfucker, who? And they said, threw that bitch up. He let a naysayer know, just like he did before. And basically, Ryan Williams took it from there, dog. That was, I absolutely love
out of there, bro.
So damn good.
That was just, it was beautiful. That was a work of art, right? It was a work of art, that catch. It was a work of art. It was just, it was just magnificent. It's like, damn. It's like he got y'all. He
made those dudes look foolish.
First of all, he made them give each other a hug. Okay,
dog.
He made them give each other a hug, and I just wanna like point this out, that whenever he made them two give each other a hug, I was like, come on now, dog. And if I'm the coach, I done broke headset, I done broke clipboard, I done broke Windows tablet, I done flipped Gatorade, and I'm gonna say it was 2 of y'all out there, and y'all couldn't stop. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'd get a little bit too upset about it. Maybe it's just me. But that was the catch. I feel like that was this week's catch of the week right there. It was on point for a touchdown. That sealed the game for them right there. That sealed the game for them. Georgia, I know. Look, you know what the crazy part is? They showed the stat that Georgia is 45-3 in the past few seasons. And do you know who all their losses to?
Who?
Alabama.
Ooh.
All of them went to Alabama, bro.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I said, that one hurt. That one would hurt. Knowing that stat, that one would hurt me more because of what he did. Yeah, it would hurt me more.
They're the smoking Joe Frazier to their Ali. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, this is who beat me. This is how he beat me, and they're the only team he beat me. Because to me, even if Alabama is eliminated from like playoff contention later on, they can always say, Georgia, you might make the playoffs, but if we was there, you wouldn't get in there. You wouldn't get in there.
Like, and it's not the where you could be like, oh, well, it's Saban, Saban's just got his number. No, this is a whole new dude, whole new staff, whole new everything, and still the same thing applies. That's fucking crazy, dog.
That's why I said at the beginning of the year, if Alabama comes out there and they blow out their first opponent, it's gonna be back to business as usual. And it was back to business as usual. And they won. And they've been doing their thing. And guess what? Georgia, they look like they got your number, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they definitely got your number the past few seasons. And I don't know how you're gonna fight that one. I don't know how you fight that one. You gotta do something. Gotta fight for your right. But with that being said, me and Rob are gonna go ahead and get up out of there. And like we always tell y'all, like, subscribe, roll to 100 subscribers. Turn us up. Tell your people about us. Help us get out there. Spread the word of the gospel of the Bro Migos podcast. Spread us like the goddamn gospel around here. Rob, what you got to say before we get up out of here, Rob?
Good night, Canada. Good night, Taylor Swift. Good night to the cats that, hugged each other on the field as Ryan Williams ran past you. All that. So, man, make sure, like I said, grab yourself a dub, get you some W, get yourself a dub, grab some W. Like you guys, make sure you support them. Use Broadmigos Pod whenever you basically whenever you go to checkout. So, support the people that support us. Get some good stuff in you. So we try to be good to your ear holes. They're gonna be good to your body. So
yeah.
Let's make a concerted effort. Get it all together. Synchronicity.
Yep. And with that being said, we're out of here. Peace.
Deuces.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bra Amigos podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.